Hey guys, welcome to Keith's Place. I have another channel called Keith's Place, so this is going to be more of a vintage dad, I guess, is what I'm going to call this channel, I think, anyway. And so my Keith's Place is more guitar lessons and guitar covers, music covers, that kind of thing. So you can check that out. I'll put a link down below if you want to check that channel out and see a little bit of that. I had a car accident, so I'm not playing guitar right now, and one reason I've started this channel, been wanting to do this for a while, and so I've got a shoulder injury. I can't use this left arm very well, so no playing guitar right now, and a few other things there. So I want to share with you my part of my man cave. I've got a pretty good sized man cave, and this is just one room, and I'm just going to show you really one part of it tonight. I have all the lights out because I was getting some glare on my records back here on the that I have framed, and so anyway, I have all the lights out except my ring light. So hopefully, you know, everything looks okay here, but we'll see how this turns out. You can let me know. But I wanted to share my one of my audio zones. I have several audio zones, basically just different zones where I can listen to music. I have different stereo setups, and not all. I have a lot of different stereos down here. Not all of them are set up to function, but I just don't have them all plugged in and have speakers to them and all that kind of thing. But I do have two or three anyway that I use, and this is kind of one of the main ones, more of the modern setup. And then I have a vintage. This is just all 70s and some 60s components and things like that. And this one also has some older speakers tied to it, but it's also my surround. So I wanted to share my setup because I'm getting ready to change some of this, and I wanted to kind of document it and show you what I have set up here. And then I'll do a newer video where it shows the new and improved, or what I'm going to feel like is new and improved anyway, as far as what I'm going to add. So what I have here, and I'll get out of the video here in a minute and show you just the items that I have, so you don't, I know you're probably loving seeing my beautiful face here and all that, but I'm gonna turn it around where I can just show you the actual components and what I've got going on here in the cabinet and everything I'm using. But one thing I'll mention, I have a Sony jukebox type CD player. It holds 100 CDs, and this was what I remember being called was a jukebox at the time. And I bought it at Best Buy. I bought it. It was an open box. Still had the box, but it had been brought back or something. Anyway, it was an open box, and I bought it back in the '90s. So I've had it a long time. Still works great, and it's pretty neat how it works as far as the. Let me move this here. I've got a light sitting on it right now, and so it raises up this way, and you put in the discs and turn this on, and you turn the dial. Got a little place for your finger, and you can turn the dial, and you can either hit play for a specific disc, or you can hit unload. There's an unload button, so if you want to unload a disc and put in a new one, you can do that too, and it'll just spin it around to where the disc is. Also, this, you can actually program this to where it says, right now it says disc 15. You can put in certain artist names, that kind of thing, and so it's pretty cool. And so I really like this. It's not flat, so it's flat here, and then it kind of goes up where the CDs are housed back in there. And I'm thinking about changing the setup, mainly because I like to play a CD at a time, one CD at a time. So what I'm thinking about doing is I've got a 5-disc changer that slides out, that I can have 5 in, and then I've got one that has a lift lid like a turntable, has a dust cover, plastic dust cover. You lift it up and you place 5 discs, and so you can play kind of one at a time, more so than having the 100 in here. And that way, because like I say, I may be in a mood to play, I've got so many CDs, so I may be in a mood to play some country tonight, and I just want to play, all country, and that's it. And so I can have just the 5 discs, and I can take them out and change them around, or I may put 10 in and go, I want to hear something different. I've changed my mind. I don't want to hear George Jones right now. I want to hear Merle Haggard or Waylon Jennings or something. So I can change them out. It's a little easier maybe than this. I mean, it's not a huge inconvenience to use this, but I feel like these are more for you load them up, and then you just, it's a jukebox. It's and then you can just select the CDs you want. The biggest thing I think that the drawback to this is, you have to have something to know what CD is number one. Okay, like I want to listen to Fleetwood Mac. What CD is? What number is that? What are they on? Are they number 50, 100, number 3? And so finding that, and then like what song, I want to hear, Go Your Own Way. What track is that? So if you're just doing a short number of CDs where you got the 5 and the 5, or just using one of those where you just one at a time. You don't have to put 5 in, you just do one at a time. And then you've got the CD in front of you, the case, and you know what number Go Your Own Way is, or Don't Stop, whatever. And so that's kind of, I think, what I want a little bit more. I'm not getting rid of this. I'm just going to move this to a different zone and maybe use this for a different setup or whatever, and just do something a little different with it. So anyway, I've kind of changed my mind on what I want to do there. So that's what I wanted to document this and get this moved out and move the other 2 in and use those. And so anyway, I want to show you my setup here, and I'm jumping up beforehand. Before time to move this camera. So I'm going to turn this camera around, and I'm going to show you a little bit closer up view of these things. I'm going to turn the house lights up here, and we're going to check out some of this stuff, and kind of just mainly just this wall, okay, of my my theater room and my audio room. I've had a recording studio in here and done recording, and we watch all of our movies down here. I listen to all my records down here. So just a lot of things happen in this room, but this is just one wall today that I want to show you and share with you. And if you find some great ideas that you can, maybe utilize on your own, let me know in the comments. Or if you got some questions, anything about any of the equipment, or whatever, just let me know in the comments below. But let's get into this, and I'm going to show you what we got going on here, and then we'll go from there. Thanks. All right, I'm going to do my best to I'm holding this on a tripod, so I'm going to try to hold this steady as I can and show you what was behind me earlier when I was showing you all this here. So there's the CD player, a little bit maybe closer there, and a little bit better view. And you kind of see how that goes up at the top there. It's 100 disc, and then like I say, that flips up, and that the lid here flips up, and you load your CDs in there. So it's a neat little unit for sure. Not a problem at all. I like the unit. Just kind of looking for something with less discs to use as my as an alternative unit, and then I can use that for if I just want to let stuff play one night or whatever, I'm not in the mood to change stuff out or whatever kind of thing. This is my Audio Technica. It's the ATPL 120. It's not the USB. Doesn't have that part of it. It's just the it was, I think, before the USB one maybe came out. And it's not fully automatic. The only thing I don't like about it really is you have to, when it gets to the end of the record, you have to come and pick up the needle. And currently the tone arm, the lever that controls the tone arm, it drops. So I've been watching some videos on that, try to correct that. But right now I'd have to use my hand to lay the needle down, because otherwise it just drops onto the record really hard and fast, and so I don't like that. But anyway, other than that, it's a great turntable. You see the crack here in the back. It was shipped to me upside down. And even though it was in styrofoam, it was shipped and packaged very well. It just because it was upside down, it cracked that, and it was going to cost me so much to ship it, I just didn't do it. So I'm going to lift this up. This is not my great arm here, so I'm going to try to do my best here to use this, but I'm holding this with my right hand. So so I have currently on here, I've got the Top Gun soundtracks, the red vinyl, the newer one that they came out with, and then have a weight here that I use on this. I really like that. It's kind of nice. One thing I like that I've been doing here lately, and something fun you can do is you can actually put a character on this. So there's Thor. You want something that's not going to fall off, and we'll turn this on, and you can you can let him spin around with the record, As long as they're not going to fly off and, land on the record and scratch the record and maybe bump the needle and cause it to be scratched. You want to be careful with that. Don't want that to happen. But at 33 1/3 for sure, it's not going to, that's not going to happen. It's going to go slow enough that Thor's not going anywhere, him or his hammer, right? So kind of a cool deal. Just something fun to do. And I'll switch this out here. And I'll put, I got a Stormtrooper here. If you're a Star Wars fan, I like Marvel and Star Wars and a lot of different things there. But there's, we put oops, sorry, I turned it off there. Put a Stormtrooper on there, and there he goes, right? So, kind of cool, something fun to do. Of course, you can't close the lid, when you've got a character there. But anyway, something kind of fun to do. So, I wanted to just share that with you. But anyway, I love my turntable. Like I said, just got to fix that tone arm, figure that kind of thing out, because it's been a little bit of a frustration there. Don't want to, ruin a record. Anyway, CD player, got all that together. This cabinet below is an RCA. It's an original RCA cabinet that housed a turntable and I would say a radio on the other side. And then it would have had a speaker on the right side. The left side, I'm going to set this down. I think I can still show it. Yeah. So the left side holds records. I've got a box set records and some books down there. This side, it looks like it opens up. It does not. The other side does not open up. There's a place for a speaker in the back. So it does not open. And then we've got, I'm going to open this first. Drop this down with my good arm. So that's this was made for a turntable, and it would slide out here, right? So it's kind of nice. I've got a cassette deck back there. You can't see. I kind of got it covered up right now. I'm trying to rethink it. I've got a turntable I'm thinking about using there, so that may be what I wind up doing with that. And then, of course, this side I think was probably where the radio was. And you can see the RCA sticker there showing it was an RCA cabinet. And then I've just got my cleaner and things like that for my records and brushes and things like that I use. So, but I love this cabinet. It's just been kind of nice. I get about $50 for it at a thrift store, and it was gutted already. So I just used it for my modern things. Up here above the turntable is this wooden piece here that you see on the wall. I can't really point at it, but that wooden piece that the Fleetwood Mac record's sitting on, and the Waylon Outlaws 8-track, and the Billy Joel Glass Houses cassette sitting on, and there's also a light that I have on there. That's a plate rack or a plate display that I bought at Goodwill for like $10. I got a couple of them. They had several of them there, and I thought, well, I only need one. I went back and got another one later, but it's got a groove there where the record is. There's a groove there, and I don't think my cord will reach enough, but anyway, you can kind of see maybe where that record is sitting down in that. So it works nicely, so it's not going to slide off, so you can display your records. And then when we're watching a movie, a lot of times I'll put the movie that we're watching, DVD or Blu-ray, where that 8-track and cassette is. You can put a 45 there as well. So it's kind of a neat little thing. Just I like to repurpose things and use things that, because I'd look for some different record holders, and I don't know, wasn't crazy about them. Plus, they were some of them were kind of expensive for what I wanted. I mean, it's not about the money. It's just about whether you can afford it or not. Sometimes it's just about I don't want to spend it for that. I'd rather find something that maybe was meant for something else, and I used it and I changed it around, right? So anyway, that's what I did there. And then I had a light there. There's a light in front that I don't have that on right now, but it lights up the record with a bright light, and then on the back side it's got multicolored lights. So I'll probably do that in a different video, because like I said, I had a car accident, and so my shoulder is kind of messed up on my left side, so I can't reach out and do things with that. So I'm just having to hold this with my right hand and kind of make do. But over here, one of my old speakers, TIAC. I don't know if that's pronounced right. I always call it TIAC. Maybe it's teak. I don't know. But anyway, it's a 1969 speaker, and I have 2 of those and a couple big Pioneer speakers from back in 68 or 69 as well. And then just I put a Jason mask on the this light that turns around, and then I put, there's a ring light back there that I bought, and I had an old 78 record. Swing Low Sweet Chariot, I believe is what that is, and I forget who did that. I don't have my glasses on right now. It's either, I think Bill Monroe is who that's by, but anyway, it was broken anyway, so I taped it to the back of that ring light just to kind of give it a little something there. And but anyway, this is kind of my main audio zone right here. You might wonder, okay, there's a mirror there. You see the mirror, and the reason I use the mirror is you can see it's focused down on the turntable. So what I've done is when I'm sitting in my chair, I'm able to see the record turning from my chair. I know it's kind of silly, but anyway, that's what I did. And then I can also kind of see where the needle is. So if it's getting close to the end, I can kind of monitor that. So I kind of like that. Probably going to move that because my next setup with the CD players, I'm going to have, like I said, the one with the dust cover, so that's not going to sit on a dust cover. I don't want that on there, so I'll probably just do away with that setup entirely. Then I have a cassette holder, and I've got a couple of these. One holds 100, and this one holds, I think, 60. If I'm not mistaken, I'd have to count them again. But anyway, it's a little smaller than the other one I have. I know the other one's 100. And I've got Smokey and the Bandit car up there. I've got a George Jones tour bus. Merry Christmas. It was part of his fan club at one time. And just a Coca-Cola thing, and another, I think that's Alan Jackson's truck maybe, that's sitting up there. And of course I have some records up on the wall, got Waylon Jennings and a few of him. I got some Alabama. I got Buck Owens and another Waylon. I got George Jones down there, Merle Haggard underneath the guitars and things like that. And then I've just got this. I'm kind of going off course here a little bit because this has nothing to do with Audio Zone, but just an old TV, a 36-inch, big old heavy TV that I use for video gaming, mainly for the light guns, because the new TVs don't recognize the light gun. You have to have the old tube TVs, CRTs, in order to play some of those old video games. So that's why I bought this and got the cabinet with it as well. Down below on the floor you see the RCA dog. That's the actual RCA dog, not the actual one, but you know what I mean. It's a stuffed RCA dog. It's got his collar says RCA on it, and then beside that is a Fender Stratocaster Lego set that I got recently. My son put that together, and it's got a Princeton amp with it. It's kind of cool. So anyway, I'm gonna see if I can show you this dog. Let's see here. But where's he got RCA at? There you go. I can't hardly lift that arm. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to. Okay, there we go. RCA right there. See? Yeah. So anyway, I have him sitting there by the RCA setup. But anyway, this is my setup here, and it's got we've got let's see how many speakers I've got going here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 speakers. So I got 10 total. And then a center speaker and a sub. Now, when I'm doing, audio, they're just all in stereo. So, but I've got them throughout the room, so no matter what part of the room I'm in, I can hear very well. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have some questions or some ideas, that we can do something a little different, but I'm gonna, like I say, change that CD players out and see how those work out. And then also I may do a video on these lights. I don't have those on right now, and I can't do that with my other arm, so I have to switch everything out. But I might turn all the lights on and kind of show you this zone as well with the lights and everything. But anyway, I appreciate y'all tuning in, and like I say, if you got any questions or anything, feel free to comment below. And if you like what we're doing, just subscribe to us and give us a like on this, and appreciate it. Hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.